This has been an exceptionally bad year. Seven-generation farm. I've traveled the world. I spent 16 years in the Georgia legislature where I was the president of the Senate. So I'm back here farming now, and we're growing olive trees.
Former legislator Tommy Williams understands the struggle.
100-mile-an-hour wind for 30 minutes, just rips everything up. I had 600 olive trees actually blow down. I had to stand them up and tie them off so that they could be sturdy. That's how I feel about a lot of these farmers out here. They've gotten blown down and they're alive, but just barely. Every family's got members who are suffering or have suffered, but it's just the long drain of a life that alcohol just takes a little bit more of you every day.
But it's not just farmers. It can happen to anyone, even those we least expect, like teachers, law enforcement, and nurses. Alive, but just barely. That's where nurse Courtney Robinson was stuck in the storm of alcohol addiction.
I hit a very hard bottom because I had lost my job and I'd lost my nursing license. I finally reached a point where I was ready to seek help. I was completely hopeless when I walked into that hospital. I didn't have a plan. I just knew in that moment I didn't want to die.
Then the miracle happened.
When I went to see Courtney, she was like every other nurse I've seen. No, I got this. I'm a nurse. I know what to do. I go, how's that working out for you?
When I was in the hallway with an IV in my arm, Greg from the Georgia Council came and started talking to me, offering me help and offering resources.
The Georgia Council for Recovery's Medically Assisted Treatment MAT program for alcohol use disorder changed everything. But without more funding, this program will end in July.
What that offered me was the opportunity to go to Laurelwood for detox. Cost was covered. It was the opportunity for medication-assisted treatment for a year, to get Vivitrol injections for a year, which turned out to be huge in my success. I had tried many times before. I'd tried for about 5 years to get sober, but I never had these options, these opportunities.
Without a place to go, Georgia taxpayers are picking up the tab.
Every time an uninsured person goes to the hospital with substance use disorder, alcohol use disorder, the minimal cost if they get checked into a room is $16,500 a day. The average alcoholic will go to the hospital 3 to 4 times a year.
This is going to take a wear and tear on the body that is going to cause them to repeatedly come back to the emergency department. There needs to be an understanding that that person with alcohol use disorder has a medical diagnosis just as much as your diabetic person does.
Opioid treatment is well funded, but those struggling with alcohol have few options. This program is part of the solution, but without additional support, it will vanish in July.
We were able to create a program not only that saw people in the emergency department for alcohol use, but also provided wraparound services. Somebody gets access to transportation, they get assigned a peer recovery coach, they get a caseworker, they get free medication to support their recovery. If they need a place to live, we connect them to sober living. And then they go on and they start paying taxes again, and they get a job, and they are taking care of their kids, and they're showing up for their families.
It's the same kind of solution that's helping farmers get back on their feet. Now, it's up to Georgia lawmakers to help save lives.
It actually saves you money. I've been on budget committees many times. There's money available, and if you can spend some money on a good program, I think you should do it. You're going to pay for it one way or the other. You're going to pay for it in the court system or in detox or any number of, and then you're going to pay for it with lives, just unproductive lives.
For those who get past that first injection, we're roughly at a 50% success rate, which is just unheard of. You get someone in recovery, you don't know how many lives you're saving. What are we saving the state? What are we saving the hospital? It's unmeasurable.
Funding alcohol use disorder programs will give people that place to find recovery. It's an investment that will save money and thousands of lives.
People are like that, you know. Sometimes they can get back up and sometimes it's just overwhelming. They don't even know how to get out of bed because of the stress and the magnitude of the disaster. There's always hope, you know, and you just have to get up and work through it that day. It's really good to get out there and help somebody else because there are hundreds of people that need help.